So I am Dr. Mohammad Sharif Masood from Department of Mathematics and Biotechnology, Government College University, Hyderabad, Pakistan. The topic of this lecture is the stem cell and its introduction. So the first uh, this question is what are the stem cells? Okay, stem cells हैं क्या? Stem cell is a special which have uh, two unique properties or two unique characteristics. Number one, that it has capability of self-renewal, it can self-renew itself, and number two, it can give rise to the specialized cell, give rise to the specialized cell types. In this regard, regarding the stem cells, there are two kind of cell divisions. Number one, the symmetric cell division. In this kind of cell division, each cell divides and give rise to the two daughter cells. Uh, these two daughter cells have the same potential which the parent cell have, which means that these are the totipotent cells. And then this is the symmetric cell division, and now the asymmetric cell division. Asymmetric cell division is a division in which a parent cell divides and gives rise to two types of cells. Number one, the same kind of stem cell, the progenitor cell, and the second one, the second type, daughter cell, that begins to proceed or that begins the process of the differentiation. So here you can see that one parent cell divides into two different kind of daughter cells, and most often this kind of cell division or the asymmetric cell division is found in the adult progenitor cells, adult cells. And you can see this picture here. The blue cell, blue daughter cell is the same progenitor cell, and the red one is the cell which undergoes the differentiation. Sorry. So the stem cell again, the stem cell it is an uncommitted cell, as we have earlier seen that it is an uncommitted cell, and it remains uncommitted until and unless some special signal uh, direct developed into a specialized cell type. Because a stem cell is an uncommitted cell, and it remains uncommitted until and unless a signal is received by the cell to develop into a special kind of cell, or the specialized or the differentiated cell. Here are the again the properties of the stem cells. Different mandatory properties are attributed to the stem cells. Among them, number one is the clonality. So clonality, what is the clonality? It is the a cell is clonally derived. The stem cell, or it exhibits clonality. Now, the what is the clonality? Actually, it was generated by the division of a single cell. It was generated by the division of a single cell and is genetically identical to the parent one. ठीक है जी, clonality क्या है कि this cell, the stem cell, is generated by the division of a single cell, and each cell each cell is genetically identical to the parent cell from which it is originated. The second property attributed to the stem cell is the pluripotency. इसमें एक चीज जो है ये क्लियर कर दें कि ये जो प्रॉपर्टी है ये embryonic stem cell से related है pluripotency, although there are some adult stem cells which are also pluripotent. Now, what is the pluripotency, or what are the pluripotent stem cells? These cells capable of generating different cell types originated from three germ layers. ठीक है जी? A pluripotent stem cell has the capability to generate different cell types which are originated from three germ layers. What are those three germ layers? Those are ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Now, all this means that a cell will be a pluripotent stem cell which can produce or which can generate a different kind of cells which can be originated from the ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, all three germ layers. Number three, the plasticity. Plasticity is actually the capability or the characteristic of a cell which make or which enable it to differentiate into different kind of cells. To differentiate into different stem cells can differentiate into different types of cells depending upon the host tissue. These stem cells can be differentiated into different kind of cells depending upon the host tissue as well as the signals provided to those cells, signals provided to those stem cells. Now, the embryonic stem cells, what are the embryonic stem cells? An embryonic stem cell, it is derived from a group of cells. Cell which is derived from a group of cells called inner cell mass, which is part of early embryo or 4 to 5th 4 to 5th uh, 4 to 5th day of the now, uh, the origin of the embryonic stem cells. Here you can see in this picture the origin of the embryonic stem cells. Here the egg uh, comes out from the ovaries and it comes into the here again the egg is fertilized with this by the sperm, and then after fertilization the egg rolls down the fallopian tube. ठीक है जी? As it rolls down into the fallopian tube, it continue dividing. ठीक है जी? And at the day 4 to 5th after the fertilization, develops a inner cell mass. It develops a inner cell mass. Here you can see that this is the inner cell mass. Okay, और ये जो structure है, this is called the blastocyst. From here, if we can isolate this inner cell mass and then culture it in vitro in the petri plates, then these cells give rise to the embryonic stem cells. Here again, the pictorial depiction. Here the egg is fertilized with the sperm, then it undergoes the cell division, symmetric cell division, and here again there's this ball of the cells that develops into a structure which is called blastocyst. In blastocyst, at one side there is bunch of cells which is called inner cell mass. If this inner cell mass is taken out into a battery plate and cultured here, then these cells develop into the embryonic stem cells. Another type of the stem cells is embryonic germ cells. These are the cells which are derived from the primordial germ cells of the gonadal ridge of the 5 to 10 week of fetus. ठीक है जी, जो embryonic stem cells हैं, those were derived at 4th to 5th day of after fertilization, the stage of blastocyst, and the embryonic germ cells. These are derived from the primordial germ cells of the gonadal ridge, और इसमें जो stage है, that is the 5 to 10 week of the fetus. Again, these are the characteristics of the embryonic stem cells. The clonality we have already discussed, and here you can see the picture that from one parent cell, two daughter cells are produced, which are again identical to the parent cell, and from these two daughter cells, parent cell. Okay, and this is another example of the cells can divide to make copies of themselves. ये अपने क्लोन बनाते जाते हैं, ठीक है, जो कि एक दूसरे के बिल्कुल जो है वो अलाइक होते हैं फॉर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम विदाउट डिफरेंशिएशन. ये बात बहुत अहम है कि दे डिवाइड, दे मेक कॉपीज ऑफ themselves for a long period of time without undergoing any differentiation. Then the pluripotency, we have already discussed a cell are called pluripotent when we have potential to differentiate any kind of cell which are originated from three germ layers. All those cell types which are originated from three germ layers, endo and mesoderm. ऐसे cells जो कि इन तीनों जर्म लेयर से ओरिजिनेट होने वाले सेल टाइप्स में डिफरेंशिएट हो सकें, those are called the pluripotent stem cells. Now the embryonic stem cells, they have certain ethical issues which render them or which make them limited, or which make their use limited for different medical use. These are ethical concerns, these are religious concerns among different societies. Therefore, this population of the stem cells is controversial. A shift has been seen over the decades to the another type of cells, which are another type of stem cells, which are called adult stem cells or the adult derived stem cells. So, what are the adult derived stem cells? These are cell which is डिफरेंशिएटेड सेल, अगेन जो कि हम पहले जिसको डिस्कस कर सके हैं कि अनडिफरेंशिएटेड होना चाहिए, एंड दैट अकर्स इन डिफरेंशिएटेड टिश्यू. अनडिफरेंशिएटेड सेल है बट अकर्स, and then it becomes specialized to yield all of the specialized cell types of the tissue from which it originated. Okay, this is adult stem cell is an undifferentiated cell which is found in differentiated organs or the tissue, but it has the capability to differentiate all different type of cells of that tissue from which it is originated. ये जिस टिश्यू से लिया जा रहा है या जिस टिश्यू में ये पाया जा रहा है उसके तमाम different kind of cells में ये differentiate हो सके. Such kind of cells, stem cells, are called adult derived stem cells or adult stem cells. Again, these adult stem cells share two important properties of the stemness. And what are those? These adult stem cells share two important properties of the stemness. Uh, what are those? We see. Number one, the long-term self-renewal. जो हमने पहले पढ़ी, the self-renewal capability into specialized cell types. Now, दूसरी जो है वो their capability to differentiate into different kind of cells, या जिसे हमने plasticity भी पहले कहा था. अब जब हमने ये देख लिया कि एडल्ट टिश्यूज के अंदर भी जो है वो स्टेम सेल्स, each tissue abundant abundant number of stem cells. ठीक है. So the answer is the bone marrow is a tissue which harbors or which contain a large number of stem cells, and moreover the bone marrow contains multiple kinds of adult stem cells, like it contains mesenchymal stem cells, it contains hematopoietic stem cells, it contains endothelial progenitor cells, it contains multipotent adult progenitor cells, it contains certain tissue committed stem cells, and then a very small proportion of embryonic like stem cells. Very small proportion of the embryonic like stem cells. The next question, the tissue is differentiated and the stem cells found in that tissue, those are undifferentiated. How it become possible? A differentiated tissue contains the undifferentiated cells or undifferentiated stem cells. ये पाए कहाँ जाते हैं, किस जगह कहीं कहीं छुपे होते हैं, क्या होते हैं? So the answer is every adult organ, adult tissue which contains adult stem cells has evolutionarily conserved specialized regions. Every adult tissue have evolutionarily conserved specialized regions in which these embryonic stem cells reside, and those regions are called stem cell niche. Those regions are called stem cell niche. And these are the regions which actually act as microenvironment where these stem cells they maintain themselves. They maintain their number, and they remain the quiescent in that region or in that niche until and unless they receive some signal to initiate the cell division and repair mechanism. Here you can see a depiction of the adult stem cells found in the heart. As you can say, the CSC cardiac stem cells. These are the cardiac stem cells, and again, a basal lamina is surrounded over these adult stem cells. And certain other cells are also present in this specific niche. How these cells are present in this niche? Number one, these stem cells are anchored to the niche structure by cells called the supporting cells. ठीक है जी, ये जो cells पाए जाते हैं niche के अंदर, those are anchored with support of certain other cells. Those other cells are called the supporting cells. These stem cells and supporting cells communicate through gap junctions and maintain biconnection proteins. ये गैप जंक्शंस के थ्रू जो है वो कम्युनिकेट करते हैं जिस अपने मेंटेनेंस के लिए, अपने सर्वाइवल के लिए, and these gap junctions are made up of different connection proteins. The glue that holds these stem cells in the niche is provided by the adherents in association with the beta catenin. अब इस नीश के अंदर जो है जो ग्लू पाई जाती है जिसके थ्रू जो है ये इन्हें एनक्रेज मिलता है नीश के अंदर, that is by a protein which is called the cadherins, and these proteins act act with the association of the another protein. Those are called the beta catenin. Together these proteins form junctions called the adherent junction. अब ये दोनों प्रोटीन मिलकर जो है वो एडहेरेंस जो है वो बनाते हैं, एडहेरेंट जंक्शन जो है वो डेवलप करते हैं। पहले क्या था कि गैप जंक्शंस के थ्रू जो कि मेड अप ऑफ कनेक्शंस एंड देन द कैडहेरेंस एंड द बीटा कैडहेरेंस मिलकर जो है वो जंक्शन बनाते हैं, दोज आर कॉल्ड एडहेरेंस जंक्शंस। Then there are integrin receptors present on the stem cell, bind them with the basal lamina that form the extracellular matrix। ठीक है जी। इंटेग्रिन के ऊपर इंटेग्रिन रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं which bind them with the basal lamina। बेजल लेमिना जैसे मैंने आपको पिछली स्लाइड में बताया कि उसके अराउंड जैसे स्टेम सेल्स के अराउंड जो बेजल लेमिना होता है और उसके साथ जो है वो बाइंड रखते हैं, और ये बेजल लेमिना जो है ये एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर मैट्रिक्स के थ्रू जो है वो बना होता है, उससे बना होता है। Then these integrins and adherent junctions play a critical role in the maintenance of adhesiveness and the quiescent status of the stem cells and the early committed cells within the organ। हैं इनका फंक्शन जो है ना सिर्फ इसकी सेल्स की स्टेम सेल की एंकरेज इन द नीच है, they perform certain other function as well, like इसमें देखा कि they are necessary for the maintenance of the adhesiveness and quiescence state, adhesiveness and quiescent state of the stem cells and other progenitor cells within the niche or within the organs। Again, the niches provide a place for the replacement of old terminally differentiated cells with new healthy cells। ये जो niche है ये they provide a place for the for the replacement of the cells। अब कौन से cells which are terminally differentiated and old and near to their complete life cycle, those are then replaced by the healthy cells। And then these niche define the growth potential of an organ। ये niche ही again जो है वो किसी भी organ का growth potential जो है उसको भी ये define करती हैं, जहाँ पे niche जो है वो जितनी ज़्यादा होंगी, जितनी वो प्रोग्रेसिव होंगी, उतने ही वो ऑर्गन जो है उसके अंदर रीजनरेशन पोटेंशियल और ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल जो है वो ज़्यादा होता है। फिर डिफरेंट सिग्नल जब इन स्टेम सेल्स को रिसीव होते हैं बॉडी के अंदर, these stem cells can migrate out of the niche and then they move towards the site where these are required। ठीक है जी। ये स्टेम सेल जो है they can migrate out of the niche after activation to the site of cell replacement। जहाँ भी कोई इंजरी होगी, कोई सेलुलर लॉस होगा तो उसको रिप्लेस करने के लिए ये जो है फिर जो साइट है, जो स्पेसिफिक साइट है जहाँ पर जरूरत होगी वहाँ पर मूव करेंगे, वहाँ पर जाकर डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे और एडल्ट फिनोटाइप जो है उसको एक्वायर करेंगे। Then the resident stem cells, those adult cells which reside in various tissues of the body and are termed as resident tissue specific stem cells। These include again मैं इसको पहले जो है रिपीट कर रहा था, हमने पहले एम्ब्रियोनिक स्टेम सेल पढ़ा, फिर हमने एडल्ट स्टेम सेल्स पढ़ा और अब नेक्स्ट जो है वो टिश्यू रेजिडेंट स्टेम सेल्स जो आप कह सकते, ये वो सेल्स हैं जो कि हर टिश्यू, हर जो एडल्ट टिश्यू है उसके अंदर जो है वो पाए जाते हैं किसी न किसी हद तक। ठीक है, एंड दोज आर कॉल्ड द रेजिडेंट और टिश्यू स्पेसिफिक स्टेम सेल्स। उसमें जो है बोन मैरो स्टेम सेल्स, उसमें स्किन स्टेम सेल्स, पैंक्रियाटिक स्टेम सेल्स, गैस्ट्रोइंटेस्टाइनल लाइनिंग, cochlear stem cells, dental pulp stem cells, eye cells, eyes, or you can say eye stem cells, brain, neural stem cells, kidney, renal stem cells, cardiac stem cells, hepatic stem cells, hematopoietic stem cells. So all these are the tissue specific stem cells. So again, the bone marrow stem cells, इनका function या इनका purpose क्या है? They act as central repository of the cell, supplying stem cells to support the repair process in various tissues. अब bone marrow जो stem cells हैं वो ना सिर्फ bone की regeneration जो उसको उस पर जो है support करते हैं, बल्कि जो body के different जो अदर टिश्यूज हैं उनकी रिपेयर के लिए भी जो है रोल प्ले करते हैं, उसको भी सपोर्ट करते हैं. Then bone marrow contains at least 6 different types of stem cells. ये हमने पहले भी पढ़ा. इसके अंदर जो है वो 6 different types of stem cells पाए जाते हैं, और उसमें एक सेल टाइप ऐसी भी है जो कि embryonic like differentiation potential है. Then the bone marrow stem cells have the pluripotent differentiation ability. जैसे ये पहले मैंने कहा कि embryonic stem cell like उनकी properties होती हैं जो कि फिर तीनों germ layers के cells में differentiate. Bone marrow cells are easy to isolate and represent one of the most viable options for the regeneration of many damaged tissues and organs. Although के human body के अंदर this will be an invasive procedure, but the number of cells present in the bone marrow make it a favorable choice. कि हमें यहाँ पर जो है वो large number of stem cells जो मिल जाते हैं. Although कि अब एक और जो है वो stem cells का reservoir that has been large number of stem cells where those are present, which have the same potential. So coming back to the stem cells present in the bone marrow, among those the hematopoietic stem cells, which are very important in the blood lineage, in maintaining the blood lineage in the body. These are rare in the bone marrow. About 1 in 10,000 cells are the HSC. हर 10,000 सेल में एक सेल जो है वो hematopoietic stem cell होते हैं. Again, these are capable of the self-renewal and these can differentiate into all mature blood cell types. Okay. अब ये जो different cell types हैं, they have certain markers through which these are identified. ठीक है, वो हम देखेंगे कि हर जो cell type है उसके different जो है markers होते हैं. For example, hematopoietic stem cells express different markers like CD34, CD45, CD133, CD117 और CKET भी इसे कहते हैं. Then the mesenchymal stem cells, again these are also rare in bone marrow, but still a large number is present, which we can propagate under the lab conditions. ये MSC जो है, these are 1 in 1 lakh cell of bone marrow, वो जो है एक MSC होता है. ठीक है. These were first described by Fredenston in 1970 as fibroblast-like colonies. Later, these were identified as MSCs or mesenchymal stem cells. These are capable of differentiating into mesodermal lineage. Mesodermal lineage के जो cells हैं उसमें जो है ये differentiate होने की capability रखते हैं. Again, they show a set of markers on their membranes, which include CKIT, CD34, STRO1, PI1, and so on. But regarding their markers, there is still controversy. कि कौन से स्पेसिफिक मार्कर जो हैं वो MSC जो है वो स्पेसिफिकली एक्सप्रेस करते हैं, इसमें अभी तक कंट्रोवर्सी है. आल्दो कि ये कुछ मार्कर जो है वो शेयर करते हैं विद द हेमाटोपोietic स्टेम सेल्स. Represent a group of cells with a distinct stem cell कुछ इनकी सब पॉपुलेशन ऐसी हैं जो कि डिस्टिंक्ट डिस्टिंक्ट smallest, most rapidly dividing cells are called recycling stem cells and are considered to be the most primitive form of cell. The smallest, the smallest, most rapidly dividing cells are called as recycling stem cells. Again, this is a subpopulation of the mesenchymal stem cells and are considered to be the most primitive form of cells. Dead stem cells में the most primitive जो है stem cells को इसको consider किया. The property of the immunogenicity of the MSCs, these MSCs do not induce a T cell response regardless of the presence of cell surface protein capable of interacting with the T cells. MSCs के अंदर जो है ये एक प्रॉपर्टी है कि they are less immunogenic. They are less immunogenic and they do not induce T cell response in the immune cells. MSCs express MSC1 molecule, but MSC2 molecules are seen only at low level. ये दोनों MSC1 molecule भी express करते हैं और 2 भी, लेकिन MSC2 molecule जो है वो at low levels उसको express करते हैं. So, and this property makes MSC an ideal candidate for cell therapy procedure. क्योंकि ये less immunogenic है, इस वजह से they are a suitable or a potential candidate for cell therapy in human. Then the endothelial progenitor cells, these are the cells which are of the endothelial lining or which form the blood vessels, you can say. These EPCs, endothelial progenitor cells, were first described by as CD34 positive cells. These findings were confirmed again by other scientists in 1998, and then these were designated as CEPC, endothelial progenitor cells. So EPCs share a common precursor with the HSC, the hemangioblast. जो HSCs या hematopoietic stem cells का जो है वो precursor है, same is the precursor for the endothelial progenitor cells, that is the hemangioblast. And these EPCs can be isolated from bone marrow as well as from the peripheral blood. EPCs जो है वो bone marrow से भी isolate किए जा सकते हैं और peripheral blood से भी isolate किए जा सकते हैं. Different markers which are expressed by the EPCs, those include CD34, VEGFR2, and TIE2. Then the multipotent adult progenitor cells, MAPCs, and these are adherent cells that can be cultured indefinitely and can differentiate into cell of all three germ layers, that is ecto, endo, and mesoderm. This is a subpopulation of the bone marrow stem cells, which is called the multipotent adult progenitor cells. These are adherent in nature and they have the capability to differentiate the cells of all three germ layers. ठीक है जी, ectoderm, endoderm और mesoderm तीनों germ layers के cells में जो है ये differentiate हो सकते हैं. They have broad differentiation potential, जैसे हम पहले describe मैं कर चुका हूँ. Like MSCs, they also do not express MSC2 molecule or less express MSC2 molecule. These can be isolated. MSC pieces can be isolated from bone marrow, brain, and muscles, but mostly from the bone marrow. These MAPCs express CD44 at very low levels, are negative for the CD45, CD34, and c but are positive for Taiwan, AC-133 and SCA1. These are the markers which are related with the MAPCs, that these are positive for Taiwan, AC-133 and SCA1, but negative for CD44, 45, CD34 and CK. The MAPCs divide without any sign of senescence and have active telomerase. ओवर लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम जो है ये डिवाइड करते रहते हैं और सेनेसेंस इसमें नहीं आती. सेनेसेंस इज फिनोमेना जब सेल जो है बहुत ज्यादा डिवाइड कर जाते हैं देन दे बिकम सेनेसेंट कि ये अलाइव तो रहते हैं बट दे कैन नॉट डिवाइड फर्दर. सो these MSCs show low symptoms or signs of the senescence over longer period of time of the cell division. Then the neural stem cells, these are the resident stem cells. These are self-renewing pluripotent stem that generate the main phenotypes of the nervous system. वो different nervous system के जो phenotype हैं वो उसमें वो जो है generate करते हैं. और these were first isolated by the Reynolds and Rees in 1992, जिन्होंने जो है ये neural progenitor stem cells जो है those were isolated from the mouse brain tissues. जो early neural progenitor cells हैं those express the certain markers which are the polycylic acid, neural cell adhesion molecule ENM, the nestin, SOX2 and beta tubulin. These are the markers which are expressed by early neural progenitor cells. Then the hepatic stem cells, these are the cells which are present in the liver, and these can differentiate into different cell types, which include the cholangioblast, cholangiocytes, the bile duct cells, hepatocytes, etc. They have the potential to differentiate in all these cells. These hepatic stem cells express AFP, Thy1, and OV6 markers, and these hepatic stem cells reside in the small units of bile tree vessels. Small units of bile tree vessels. लिवर के अंदर जो है वो बाइल वेसल्स होती हैं जहाँ से ये बाइल जो कलेक्ट होकर जो है वो आता है. तो इन बाइल इन वेसल्स के अंदर जो है इन वेसल्स में there are small units जहाँ पर ये HSCs या हेमेटोपोटिक स्टेम सेल हेपेटिक स्टेम सेल जो है ये रिजाइड करते हैं, ये पाए जाते हैं. बट अगेन इनके भी जो है वो इनकी आइडेंटिटी के ऊपर जो है वो भी कंट्रोवर्सी पाई जाती है हेपेटिक स्टेम सेल. So stem cell research and future of the regenerative hope to treat many debilitating and degenerating diseases. These stem cells can help in addressing problems related to aging associated जो problems हैं उनको address करने में भी ये help हो सकते हैं. And then engineered stem cells can provide opportunities to augment their functionalities. अगर हम stem cells को engineer कर लें, इंजीनियर करके इनकी जो है इनकी पोटेंशियल है उसको हम ऑगमेंट कर सकते हैं, और उसको जो है फर्दर जो है यूज कर सकते हैं.